Welcome, everyone, to Deliberations with Sonya. This is the podcast where we take a courageous and thought provoking dive into the heart of today's topics. And today, we're going to be discussing empowering and encouraging ourselves in today's modern world. And let me tell you, it's not as if that is the easy thing to do. As women, we have been just under attack in these past several years since the last administration or Republicans. I mean, just from the abortion case all the way up and into what our children can learn in school and all of the various other things that tend to get into the way when we're trying to just live and love and just do the self-care that we need to do to make sure that we're okay, and far be it for me to say that the men are not heads of the households, etc., because they are. It's just unfortunate that many households today are single parent households, and as such, and let me step back. Let me step back. All households that are single parent households are not women households. Because I done dated some dudes, and they are the parent, right? And I must admit, at this age, it is interesting when you go out with somebody and they're like, "Oh, my daughter gonna track me." It's like, oh, I mean, if for real, it's not like that. It's just that you have to sit back and be like, okay, whoo, deep breath. This brother got a child and he is involved and yahoo, roo ha ha for that. And so you have to be mindful of that. However, I digress. Let's get back to the point. The point is that as women, and I would say men too, as we seek to empower ourselves and just grab a hold to our families and be able to make sure that they're all right while we make sure that we're all right. you know that's more than a notion. It's not as easy as what you would think. So today's show is going to be about how we take care of ourselves, and I'm going to focus specifically on self-care and relationships. And relationships aren't just about male, female, or whatever the pronouns are. Relationships, okay? It's just just talk about interpersonal relations. However, I do want to get to a question that someone sent in for me, and what the question was, and this actually made this topic become a very interesting topic to discuss, because I previously, on my last two episodes, I was talking about politics and how politics had really come into play. And then there was a lot of things going on out in the world, current events. So, yes, those are things that grab my attention. So I wanted to talk about them. And I had a gentleman, I believe, could have been a lady, but anyway, come on to my YouTube and leave a comment. And, they were very not happy about my content. I believe it was chickens coming home to roost. And I had spoke about, the whole Trump thing and all of his crimes and all of his lawsuits, and how we are in a place where we're trying to give him room to say his civil rights are being violated. Why he violated everybody's civil rights his whole life? Okay, I don't even know how that works. But that's not the point. So for that person who came into my comments, I was sort of taken aback at first, but due to all the wonderful self-care that your girl been doing, I was like, "Oh, thank you for supporting me, and thank you for supporting my podcast." And I mean that from the bottom of my heart because I said this is deliberations with Sonya. So I want to be able to have these kind of conversations. And so what I said, to the gentleman was, you know, I am not. I think he said it seems like he said I'm trying to follow this, but you're just rambling on, and it just sounds like all you're talking about is race, like you're a racist. And so, like I said, I was taken aback because it wasn't about the race stuff; it was about the rambling on because I do ramble. And I was like, man, I gotta, it's only my second video, dude. Cut me some slack. However, I got notes today, and I'm looking at my notes. My notes keep me on task. So yeah. So originally, the whole ramble, it was like, it was like a knife to my throat because I felt bad because I know I've been rambling. Anyway, get back to the point. So the other point, I made was, I'm not a racist. I would never, ever, anybody that knows me knows that I'm not a racist. I'm not a racist at all. But what I am is pro black. Yeah, I'm gonna admit that. I want to be proud of me and the history of my people. I want to be proud of me and the history of my family. I want to feel empowered that I stand on the backs of my mom and dad, my relatives that came before me, my cousins, my grandparents, my great grandparents, my native history, which outside of my grandma, I don't even know that much because nobody kept good records on the native populations in relation to African Americans. You know, I mean, I have to. I have to feel proud about myself. How do I look in the mirror as a educated black woman in 2023 and say that I can be empowered if I can't connect to my ancestors? If I can't reach back to that history and be proud of it? I can't let mainstream media, I can't let the DeSantises of the world define me and my people and who we are and be proud of myself. You really want to see a person out here just lost and aimless? Take away their history. Who are we? Who are we without our history? Who is any of us without the strength and the courage of our forefathers? I mean, so to that gentleman, if you're listening tonight, I just want to say, just like you're proud of your history, whatever it may be, it could be Confederate, it could be German, it could be whatever it is. Just like you're proud and that history makes you stand up, it makes you put your back straight, it makes you go out here against the world and say, I could do this. Why? Because they did it. And I'm not gonna just, live my life and in a corner cowering away because everybody said that I'm not gonna accomplish anything. No, no, we each deserve to have our histories, our statements of life who we are, what we are, how we got here, so that we cannot repeat. We don't want to repeat history. Like I said in my last post, I'm not finna be marching up and down the streets talking about we should overcome. No. Parents, grandparents did that. Dr. King did that. And since then, we've got Barack and Michelle. Come on now. We ain't got to go back. Anyway, so I segue into the topic of today, which is about how to be empowered in today's modern world, because it's a it is a definite task. And people want to, just like the gentleman, come into, they don't understand, you know? And that's what Deliberations with Sonya is about. I wish this person would come on and be a guest, or we could talk about it, because people don't understand. You can't, these things are interconnected, they're not separate. And so when you see people who look like me being very deliberate and very methodical as we try to come up with ways to confront those that coming after us, it's because we have not, we don't have any room to give. And as an example of that, like I talk about empowerment, I talk about business, I do business consultant, I consult with small businesses. I work on some military contracts, different things like that. And those things were hard fought to get. And now we've got lawsuits. For instance, there was this lawsuit in Atlanta where this man, the one who sued about affirmative action and teachings in school, he sued this minority venture capital fund because he said that it was racist because they're only giving money to minority women. Now, Target, Goodyear, let's just name the top 5, 6, maybe 10 companies in the world are giving money to this venture capital group that is setting aside money for minority women businesses. This gentleman, who is a venture capitalist type, and gives money, probably not to people who look like me, he had the audacity to sue the group. He did not sue the contributors, the people with the money. And these things are just silly season. It's just silly season. Say what you really mean. You just don't want women and minority businesses to get any funds. But as I said, I'm not going to talk about my prior episodes. However, how much is enough? When is enough enough? You know what? Why do you have to continue to attack others? Isn't it high time that people find something to be happy about? Support lacking communities in your community. It's lacking in every community in the United States. Everybody's not, doesn't have access to education. It's not just Black people, all kinds of minorities. Let me tell you something. When I was down in Mobile, I represented some folks out there, a lot of Asian folks who were doing fishing and shrimping. And then there was a time after Katrina when I worked with FEMA, and I'll never forget how taken aback I was at how little bit of money those people make pulling crab out of crab shells. It was absolutely ridiculous. You got to pull a whole lot of crab out of a shell to get some money, and harken back and think, it was Cotton and slavery was a $1 billion business, even by today's standards. But I don't want to talk about that. So if you look at it, I've represented quite a few folks in that business later on when I started practicing law. And a lot of those folks are immigrants. They have family members who don't speak English very well. The education in those communities it is definitely lacking, you know, and you're going to tell me that, these people, they escaped Vietnam and Southeast Asia and all those things that were happening during that time frame. And they have not been properly educated. They haven't had access to education. And, they deserve a leg up like everybody else. I mean, many people are doing the bootstrap thing. But when you talk about, oh, put yourself up by your bootstrap, well, everybody's not capable of doing that because everybody hasn't had access. However, enough on that topic. I don't want to get too deep into it, but I do want to say that when you look in the mirror, when you wake up in the morning, you look in the mirror, whether you're that gentleman who left that message for me or you're just a stay-at-home mom, or you're a business person, or you're a educator, or whatever it is that you do. When you look at yourself in the morning and you brush your teeth and you're like, hey, I'm ready for my day, you have to be able to latch on to something that makes you feel like I can do this. I got this. You know what I'm saying? Some people use like I got theme music. I play my theme music in the morning, and then I'm just like, hey, and I've had some of the same theme music for like ever for 30 years. Um, but whatever it is, it's got to give you the strength and the courage to be able to make it. And enough about that. So now I'm going to segue over into empowering ourselves in a more personal way. And I'm going to talk about relationships. Oh, yeah, I said at the top of the hour I was going to talk about relationships. So, yeah, I'm back to that. So, let me tell you, I just want to, start this part of the discussion today in regards to relationships. And just, how I was feeling this summer, let's just say. It's just a whole summer thing about relationships and how we interact and how we show up in our relationships. At some point I was going to have a guest and we were going to do this whole deep dive into relationships, but I'm not ready for that. So I'm gonna just do a little shallow dive into the waters of dating and how I've discovered that a level of empowerment and a level of self-care is involved in that as well. Because your girl been dating. And I must admit, I am not participating properly because I'm making my own rules for dating as I go because I'm not doing what everybody else is doing. I refuse. I'm the queen. I'm not going to do what everybody do. Why? Because I value me. You know what I'm saying? I think quite highly of myself. And when you think highly of yourself, thank you, ancestors, because of you, I feel I'm saying I'm worthy. My dad taught me to be worthy, and I'm worthy. But anyway, let's just get to this dating thing. So in the dating chronicles, these men out here are different from even like when I got married the first time. I must admit, been married twice. Those of you don't know, now you know. But, I was young when I married my first husband, my son's dad. We were in our 20s. We didn't know what we was doing. We was just cute and horny. Popped out them babies, and I was like, I'm out. Anyway, so in my second marriage, it was more methodical, more well thought out, sort of. Anyway, in that situation, it was more about, okay, I've got these sons, and I have this business, and I want to have someone who love me, gonna be there for me, take care of me, and make me feel, hey, like, hey, I've arrived. I'm a grown up. And so I did that with my second husband. He was a sweetie. I must admit, I didn't probably do enough deep dive research about the qualities that I was going to need to maintain a marriage. So, yeah, he screwed it up too, but I was the major screw upper. I will admit that. However, I must say that, those experiences gave me enough knowledge and understanding what it is that I want and what I don't want in a relationship. And ladies and gentlemen, you must empower yourself to just, know that your well-being and your mental health is really dependent on following your instincts about these things. So let's talk about this whole empowerment and relationship deal, right? Okay, so what had happened was I have been I've been on all kinds of dates. I've been on dates with um folks that were in hey Victoria. You're supposed to be on here with me, girl. Making me mad. Now I gotta talk about this relationship stuff by myself. Hey girl. Anyway, so yeah, so I've been doing the little dating thing. And sometimes I meet people all the time, all over the place, but I must say that in this episode, I want to talk about good morning text. Good morning text. You have to think about what is a good morning text and why do people do it? Why? Don't nobody want to be texting all day. And as women, and you sit back and you go out, you have a date, and then a person just wants to, good morning, beautiful. Good morning in the afternoon. Good morning at night. Good morning tomorrow and the next day and the next day. Back in the day, we used to call this just stringing somebody along. Come on now, don't be doing all that. Good morning. Stop good morning in me. You right, Mary. It is love bombing. Cause girl, let me tell you, yes, yes, it is. Yes, it is, Miss Mary. It is. Oh, I can't be sending texts. I gotta just focus on talking. But anyway, yeah, it's love bombing. It is. It's something. So, and I've had this happen to me a few times, and this time I really felt empowered, and I feel crazy because this dude I really like. We got a lot in common. We was having fun and singing songs. It was like being with him was like being in an episode of Glee, because we both like old school music. We sing and stuff. But this past weekend, I was good morning, beautiful. I decided not to answer. And if you are on here, I'm going to tell you, yes, you sexy, you cute. But I decided not to answer because I wanted to go out and have some coffee or a talk or something. And I was just over this whole good morning thing. And so I thought about it and I said, you know what? Am I going to respond? And I did respond. And then the next day, Sunday, he like, oh, you MIA on me. I'm like, I'm not MIA on you. You have my number. Call me. Okay. And I'm going to say this. As a woman who has been around the block a couple times, I ain't scared to say. Like I said, I've been married twice. I don't do well with it's like you pitter-pattering all over the universe, and I'm gonna just keep it real, and if anybody that I've dated is listening to this, let me just tell you, I have cut and paste those good morning texts to 3-4 dudes at a time. Cause ain't nobody got time to be figuring out what that stuff mean. I'll be like, ooh, what you doing today? What you doing today? What you doing today? And you know the one I respond to? The one that say, oh, meet me at the restaurant. I'm like, yes, baby, yes, I will be there. And so while you sitting there texting me, I'm sitting here looking at somebody's eyes, having a drink, eating some calamari, having a good time. Because I ain't going to be doing all that. If you like me, kick it with me. Okay? I'm 54 years old. And what I'm saying, women, ladies, girls, men too, don't be letting nobody keep you right. I can be and I text this gentleman because, like I said, he cute. And I was just like, oh, I want a hug. Don't be sending me no good morning text. And I told him, I was like, look, I'm just bored. And I realized something about myself. See, I said we're gonna talk about self-care, we're gonna talk about empowerment. I realized something about myself. I do get bored. And at this age, I don't believe that I am completely in this mode of, oh, I just gotta have a man. You know what I'm saying? Because let me tell you, the last one did a number on me. And so because of that, I'm like, when I see one thing wrong, I call it out. Because let me tell you, I am not going to be wasting my time trying to wait for somebody to get their ish together. I believe, let's just be real right now, okay? Because I've done hundreds and hundreds of divorces over the years. I don't represented men and women. And my spidey sense start to tingling when we have to have all of this. Let me tell you, when somebody want to be with you, when somebody like you, they want to see you, they want to touch you, they want to feel you. Okay? I'm not gonna sit up here and good morning. Now you get morning and me and 4-5 other people. Just like I said, I'm cutting pasting good morning all these other dudes too. And whichever one bite for me, it's like, let's go and do something, have some fun. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, I got some Browns tickets. I'm like, hey, what's up? Holla at all of y'all. Because I'm finna go kick it with them. They got Browns tickets and they invited me to the game. Shit. Sorry for cussing. But I'm just saying, you gotta, you know what I'm saying? Don't let these people get you to where you're sitting around. What is this? Okay? No. I'm not gonna sit around here and put text with you. And this is another reason why I've been staying right now. I've been staying for over a year. Yes, because I get bored. And I know I get bored. And since I know I get bored, I'm not jumping in and out of bed with you. You got to be special. And if I do all that, we ain't gonna be texting. We're gonna be rolling over, getting lipstick on the pillow, like, hey, baby, what's up? And I let dudes know. Don't call me. If you think you're finna be with me physically, and then, like, what? Text me all week and show up like when you ready to deal with me again because you ain't finished dealing with them. No, boo. We ain't gonna do that. Okay. I'm gonna keep these men. I'm gonna keep copying and pasting. Good morning to them. And when the one invite me to the Browns game or to the club or for drinks, I'ma roll out with them. But I ain't gonna get too cozy with nobody. When you see me cozy with somebody, you gonna know that's husband number three. Three. And I don't have to get married again. So I'm saying all this to say, as we think about empowerment and wellness, we also need to think about how we show up in these relationships. And don't let anybody tell you that you don't deserve to be a boss of your life. It's your body, it's your time, it's your mind. Nobody controls that but you. So the Queen Crusader is here to say all of this good morning text, okay, the cat's out the bag. Ain't nobody gonna be getting strung along with all of that typing. You better meet me at Starbucks, have a croissant, and say what's up. Okay? Don't waste my time. This is the numbers game. Women in your 50s, it's a numbers game. Okay? You got to move through these dudes fast. You can't be wasting time. Okay? And I don't care, like I said, if I never, ever be in another relationship because I'm not going through nothing that's going to cause me financial strife again. Also, empower yourself financially. You gotta just be about your own best interest. And I'm a segue away from that as I end with this. As women, we have spent far too much time making excuses for ourselves and for others. And I want us to be able to, I don't even have a daughter, but if I had a daughter, I would just be like, look, don't take no wooden nickels out here. Okay? I mean, I ain't telling you to just, you know what I'm saying? Just keep it real. Life is short. Life is short. Your life could be over just like that. And everybody wants to be happy. So don't get stuck with no loser that's disrespecting you, that's out here glanting with everybody, Mm-mm. You don't got to do that. I don't care how old you are. I heard that guy, what's his name, Kim Samuel, something like that. He like, oh yeah. Well, it was some video. Oh, and God rest his soul. He's dead. Okay, I don't want to talk about him. But this guy was sharing a video that he did. So I'm gonna talk about the guy. So the guy was like, oh yeah, y'all women over 40, 50, y'all has-beens. No, nigga, you a has-been. What are you talking about? Ain't nobody, if y'all let somebody take down your self-esteem, they got you. I don't care if I'm 60, I'ma still be beautiful. I'm gonna be fine. Oh, sorry. I'm taping my podcast. Shouldn't have did that. Anyway. So yeah, I'm gonna still be beautiful, honey. I'm gonna put some 60-year-old through the paces. Don't be texting me and Sister Lee over there. I'm special. You better take me somewhere. Let's have a picnic. Let's get out the picnic basket. Let's have some Moscato and some fruit, some ice cream out in the grass. Let's go to the beach. Let's watch the sunrise. Let's do some things. If a person don't want to do things with you, they're not into you. And unfortunately, sometimes the people that want to do everything with you, you don't be that into them. So don't take no wooden nickels that way either. Take them brown tickets though. Cavs tickets, take them all. Okay, because I ain't gonna miss no game. I mean, we friend zone, but shit. You got Browns tickets, you. I digress. I'm so silly and immature for saying that. But hey, everybody, some women want men with fancy cars. I want men with season tickets to the Browns, the Cavs, and the Guardians slash Indians. Value is value for whatever you think it is. I like sports. Anyway, I just want to say this has been a lot of fun, and I was supposed to tape today's episode, but the whole edit process, and I just was like, I'm gonna do this live because I don't got used to doing this live. So I'm gonna do this live. Oh, and yeah, let me. Oh, you know what? I almost forgot. As we think about empowering ourselves, I'm going to let you guys know that my new slash second revised book is going to be available. Righteous Insubordination, a memoir about fighting back. Wish I could move it out the way. It's supposed to be over here somewhere. Anyway, go to Amazon. And for those of you that know my other book, which was Sometimes We All Gotta Deal with Our Own Shit, I was in a different headspace when I wrote that. And it is still, this is a revision. However, it is a revision for mass distribution because I had to take out a few things slash cuss words, etc. A few naming things had to do that as well. And so, Righteous Insubordination is available on Amazon for pre-order. And I am very, very, very proud of this book because the first iteration was great, but it was fire. Then this one's still fire now. It's just fire that you can let your 16-year-old sister read. you know. So, it's a little more church friendly. Antioch, Deacon Mom and them. So, yeah. And I'm also very excited to introduce my next title that is going to be coming out a month later. And this is a mock-up title, but this is I really wanted to be able to let people see this. And if you got some comments, that would be great. The title of the book is Blood, Mud, and Bricks: African Americans' Contributions to Building America by Sonya A. Ogletree. See, I'm putting my whole using name on my titles now as well. Because after a whole bunch of years of therapy, I've had, I done let that anger go. How does it? I don't know what's right out of my hair. Anyway, Blood, Mud, and Bricks is going to be available, I'm going to say in November. And I'm actually going through the process now of refining some things before I upload it to Amazon. So you're going to be able to go over there. And when you find my other book, you can just put my name in there. My titles will come up, and that one will be also in my author's page. It has been great. If you enjoyed the show, please rate and review it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, all the other ones. Also, you can go to YouTube and subscribe, as I am also currently working on increasing my YouTube presence so that I can be more recognizable as a leader in my field, which I am, and I always have been, and I always will be. See what I'm saying? You gotta empower yourself. You know what I'm saying? You gotta feel good about yourself. You gotta know you're gonna succeed. Anyway, E. So don't forget, you can also go to Queen Crusader Live. Oh no, queencrusader.com or Queen Crusader Live. And on my website, I have a section where you can leave your email, you can leave comments, you can leave questions, and that way I will also be able to update you on the latest what's going on. So, thank you guys. This has been great. I really believe that this is really probably my best episode, but it is episode number 3. Keep getting better. So, thank you for hanging with me on Deliberations. Thank you, Mary and Victoria. And oh, who is that other person? Oh, Renee. Oh, you gonna be on LinkedIn looking in on the other thing. Anyway. So yeah, that was great having some interaction this time. And like I said, don't take any wooden nickels. Stay on top. And I'll see you next week. Bye.